Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Insecure, Obsessed Like, Review with Rom and Miss Mocha Angel.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, so getting started at this thing. We got to start with Issa in bed. She got the inner monologue going this episode. You know, she's starting with a tooth dream and stuff, and we're going to get into that later. We're going to get into that after we do all of this. And she keeps checking the phone. She's obsessed. Totally with Nathan. I mean, even in the shower, she get a text and she thinking, "Oh, you nasty while I'm in the shower." She thinking it's Nathan. It's her mom. And this is the first indication that her mom is like a person after like 3 seasons and stuff. She sends a Bible verse.
Right.
Which kind of foreshadows some stuff later on and everything. Right. But, you know, it's just, you know, she's pressed. She's like, why is he ghosting? And all of that stuff. What did you think?
Well, funny. First, I thought the Bible verse, when I saw it, I thought that was funny. And I thought Jennifer Lewis. I said that last week. I hope her mom is Jennifer Lewis. Okay. She's pressed. That's the bottom line. And I thought it was funny. She's checking her Instagram and Tay Diggs is following her. See, I get like that when celebrities follow me. I'm like, oh my God! You know, I thought that was funny. But she's pressed. That's the bottom line. She can't think about anything else. She can't get anything done.
Yeah, and so that's going to interfere later with some stuff. And then we see Molly on a lunch date with Andrew. Andrew got some game. He read my book. Oh, you know, to quote the Grand Master, the Master Teacher BGS, Rom, you magnificent bastard, I read your book. Andrew could have said that dude was just too cool. Dude was just thorough with it. I was just like, yeah, dude, he grew up in the hood.
Definitely.
He grew up in the hood. His parents owned that string of laundromats and takeout places, and he just played with the kids in the neighborhood. He's just too thorough. Shoot. But then we get Chad and Lawrence coming back from playing ball, and Lawrence wants to go to church.
Hello.
He wants to go to church, and Chad is, of course, being Chad. Team Chad, as long as it's just on the fiction pit thing. Got mad bitches at church.
Right. So he's just going for the women.
Oh, yeah. Then we get back to Issa again.
More teeth falling out.
Yeah, more teeth. But then she a little bit more thirsty. She starts taking some pics for IG. And you know her brother clowned her like on a regular. So he's like, yeah, he clowned her and stuff. He said, yeah, too thirsty. And she's agonizing over why she got ghosted and whatnot. And then she starts stalking Nathan's IG page.
Right. But then her real profile came up when she sent the post talking about, are you single, eggplant? And then it said Issa, and then she was like, oh my bad. She had to delete the post.
Oh yeah, and then she had to find the stalker page. They got a stalker. Her and the girls got a stalker page. Like, how the hell y'all got a stalker page and stuff? Everybody got them. Anyway, she got mad over a pic with Nathan and his mom. She thought she saw this young looking woman kissing him and stuff, and you know, it was like, oh, that's his mom. Right. I was like, that's deep. Yeah, that's deep, because she looked young as heck. I don't know, that was a teenage mom or something.
Yeah, she had to be, because she was only 50.
Yeah, and I was like, Nathan looked a little bit older. So, you know, she had him like at 13 or something.
It's possible.
You know, I was just like, man. But you could kind of tell she was older, because maybe they photoshopped the hands or something. The hands look older. But
oh, my God.
No, I actually saw that. I was like,
you're paying attention to her hands?
Yeah. You just saw that, and I was like, wait a minute. Oh, shoot.
That was his mom.
Yeah, that was his mom. But those were some old hands, though. That's how I knew what was up with that. What you think about all that tooth dream, taking the pics for IG?
She's pressed.
She's the one who's obsessed, not him. Clearly. Oh, man. And what about all that inner dialogue and everything about getting ghosted?
Well, honestly, I'm going to defer to you because I think you know a little bit more about this than I do. I think you have more to say. But I get it. And I just kind of wanted to say to her, okay, he's gone. Why are you not letting this go? And clearly he's not interested.
Yeah, but you're a woman. Do women just do this? I mean, you know, be thinking y'all get on national TV. I'm a strong woman. Ain't no what. It's just water off my back. Because we were getting all the dialogue. I was like, you doing a little too much.
Okay, as I have said before, on here and in person, in real life, women are emotional creatures. I'm not saying anything y'all don't already know. So yes, she's being highly, highly, highly emotional to the point of distraction around this whole thing. Yes, we say we're strong. That's not to say we're not, but we are emotional creatures. Men are more fixed. Okay? So.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's an interesting thing about that. I'll talk about that at the end. Because I watched the after show.
There's an after show?
Oh, yeah. You know, they could do a little 5 minutes. Nathan, the actor who played Nathan was on there.
Really?
Yeah, he said some interesting things.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, right? Okay, but anyway, next scene we get is Lawrence in church. And the minister is Michael T. Williamson. Once again, Issa Rae is making sure some black actors get some work.
Which is great.
Yeah, Michael T. is interesting because I always pay attention to him because I knew the president of his fan club from back in the day. He was just some dude in Forrest Gump at first to me, but then I met the president of his fan club, and she was like, Michael T. is the bomb.
Okay.
I was like, I'm thinking, does he even know you? That's when I found out that's what a fan club does. They answer all the letters for the fans. It's not the actual person.
I didn't know that.
So I haven't reached that level. I don't have a fan club.
Oh my God, you will, Rom.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Anyway, so we in church. Lawrence, he's sitting around like, why am I here? Why am I here? Right? He just looking around and stuff because the preacher. Chad looking around at the women at first, which is funny. He checking out all the women, but then subtly he started just focusing on the sermon. And then, you know, Lawrence still got that whatever look. And then at one point when the minister says, well, if you found Jesus, you know how.
If you feeling what I'm saying, come to me, come to Jesus.
Chad came to Jesus.
Oh my God.
I was like, what's up? I was like, man. I was like, man, that is crazy. And then, you know what? And then outside, you know, it was funny because I had to rewind. I was like, Chad just called somebody my nigga. And you know, he was like talking and he all happy and stuff. I didn't realize how short he was compared to Lawrence. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But, you know, outside, Lawrence gets approached by a woman.
Yes, he does.
I'm like, Lawrence, man, you slide into that new territory. You don't even approach. You at church looking disinterested. This woman pulled up on you. I was like, man. And her name was Denise. They didn't find that out because they didn't do introductions right there. They just started talking.
Right.
Found that out later from a text she sent them. Right. But even before that, like, well, you know, in between that scene, you had this thing with... Molly
and Andrew.
Well, no, Molly and Torian.
Oh, Molly and Torian, yes.
Yeah,
because
you're right. She had got all that stuff ready. He had something coming up, so he was like, you know, she was like, he had to postpone doing a presentation with her, and she was like, oh, I can do it, and then Torian was like, well, I need to look over it first, and she a little pissed, so that comes up later on.
Right, she feel like she's being micromanaged.
Yeah, but then is Molly and Andrew on a date? You want to talk about that?
That didn't go well. So it was a very short date because apparently Molly said some stuff she didn't quite remember. And see, that's why you don't drink, y'all. So anyway, so apparently she told him about Dro. Maybe not all the details, but yes, I slept with a married man is what she said. And so like she made a crack and then he made a crack like, oh, well, you the one who slept with a married man. And she was pissed. She took offense, okay? And she was like, well, you don't know the situation. And he's like, oh, a married man lied to you for sex. Now there's a shocker. And she's like, you just don't understand. And so guess what? She ended the date. She walked out on homeboy. Okay, and just left him there. And so I'm thinking to myself, Molly, why do you keep like messing this up? Like this dude is feeling you. He is feeling you. And on the other hand, I understood why she was so upset because she lost her best friend. Dro was one of her best friends. So not only did, you know, one of her best friends lie to her, you know, just to have sex with her, she lost the friendship as well. So I know that cuts really deep. You know, I get it. On the other hand, dude is telling the truth. It's like, okay, let's move on. We can talk about that another time. Mm-hmm. And so she left him. And I actually liked Andrew.
Yeah, well, Andrew's cool.
Yeah.
That's the only character on the show I relate to personality-wise.
He was really cool.
Yeah, because he's just cool and calm.
Yeah.
He's calm, and everything she was saying, he always sees right through it, which we'll bring up in a minute. Mm-hmm. But then, once again, we get Issa in the bed.
With her teeth falling out in a dream.
Yeah, and then, she's checking, she got her stalker account checking Nathan. Find out he has been cutting hair. Mm-hmm. And that still don't mean he got a job. That means he gave his boy a home cut.
Exactly.
But it might mean something. Mm-hmm. Whatever the case, she's still stalking, trying to figure out what he doing. Mm-hmm. Everything. Can't really find anything. Mm-hmm. And she actually followed him at one point. But then, get back. It shifts back again to Molly. She does that presentation without Torian.
Right. And she killed it.
Uh-huh. But then... while back when Issa was in bed, she got a call from Roger. And she actually thought, why is he calling me? He said, you're 20. He said he kind of responded to the thought. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, he did.
But then it was like, the plumber's been waiting outside for 20 minutes and stuff. So she out there in her pajamas and her little fluffy slippers and everything, right? Mm-hmm. And then she still, checking out Nathan, and then she calls up Molly, and they decide to go visit Andrew.
Yes.
And they find, knock on his door with a dessert from someplace, like, oh, they just in the neighborhood and whatnot.
Right.
And Andrew was probably looking at them whatever. And then she was like, I got to use the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And then, proceeded to go upstairs and whatnot. Yeah. I'm going to tell you what. I got a story.
Oh God! What's the story?
Back in the when I was my grandmother was still living, we had some relatives that we didn't like exploring the house. I'll put it like that. As my grandmother would say, they were low, right? Mm-hmm. And we had one come over talking about, she had to use the bathroom. Her and her son. My mother was like, "There's a bathroom right here." Yeah. In fact, as soon as you walk through the door, there was a bathroom right there. Mm-hmm. She insisted she had to go upstairs. Mm-hmm. Let's just say it didn't end well. Anyway. Because you get somebody, as soon as and Andrew had to have that game, but he was probably just looking and probably just thinking, okay, what they playing at?
Right, of course, he knew right away.
Yeah, but then she go to his room.
To Nathan's room.
Yeah, and Nathan's room, she looking around, she about to go in the trash, she trying to hack his computer.
Oh my God.
She trying to get his password like Houston. Okay, Issa. Going through his drawer, I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, the only thing we know about that brother is he didn't make his bed in the morning and don't empty his trash. But then, he might be living that vagabond life. He might not sleep in it that much. So,
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, but whatever the case, she going all through there. And then, I like this scene. Because Andrew, Molly trying to talk with Andrew. And Andrew talks about how he met two different Mollys. And he was like, are they all this fucked up?
Man, listen.
I did that Denzel. I was like, my nigga.
Right. No, I start that sentence, highlighted and put an exclamation point behind, and I was like, thank you. Thank you. Somebody finally said it to her. Thank you.
Well, they needed it because I think one of the issues with Molly and also Issa, nobody tells them about themselves.
Yes.
And Andrew I told you, Andrew was being cool, but you could tell he was thorough. He was like, and that's how you do it. I mean, I take some points away for him letting him in the house anyway, but, women writing it, because I'd have been like, hey, what's up? All right, thanks, bye. Or if she took a step upstairs, as I learned from Grandma, I was like, no, I told you a bathroom is right there. Mm-hmm. I don't have time to play with your shit. Mm-hmm. I do not trust you, because I know you coming over here looking for my boy.
Right.
Because I said he wasn't home.
Right.
But that's just me if Rom writes it. Man, I need to do a Romeo review on that. Anyway.
Well, women wrote it, so.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me give you a quick Romeo.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Hey, lady. Anyway, y'all. Yo, man. Come on now. Fellas, y'all know. Y'all would have stopped in there unless y'all some thirsty-ass Bammers. Y'all probably some thirsty-ass Bammers just think you could hit it right there. But nah, that's a no-no, man. You don't let no woman come over your house unannounced. You got to check that. Or you got to punish her for coming over. But that might be another video. So, all right.
I'll let you do that.
Yeah, Romeo out.
Okay.
All right, Rom back.
So anyway, back to Crazy Issa in Nathan's bedroom checking for evidence of what I'm not sure. I guess of another woman. I guess. That was crazy. I mean, that took me back to college. Okay. You don't, oh my God, this woman's 30 years old. And I just was like, girl, stop. Okay. Just stop. I mean, I'm not going to tell all my business, but I can relate. But I was in college when I did it. Okay. That stuff stops after a while. So no, I just was like, please get out of there. Please get out of there. So I was glad Molly was the one who came upstairs and said, please get out of here. What are you doing? And not Andrew.
Yeah.
It might have been a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, we might have saw something there.
Yeah.
But then when they were back in the car, I actually wrote this down word for word what Issa said.
Okay.
You know, first, Molly was asking, and in her mind, she was like, it's the dick. And it's like, all right, she being honest. Because for the ladies knowing, y'all did some stuff for the dick. Y'all know y'all did drive-bys of some dude's place for the dick, showed up at his place, found out where he worked. Oh, I'm just in the neighborhood. Right. Y'all know y'all done did it.
Right. Or because he was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. And the dick. I mean, they even said it at one point. She got open for some dude right away on a Ferris wheel. But look, she said it. I like the line she said. She said, he made me feel like more than a fuck up. Right. I don't know if anybody is going to make me feel like that again.
That was it. I started that too.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and that's it. Actually, on a serious tip. I understand a lot. Anybody wants to feel that way, especially a woman, because she had issues with Daniel, had issues with Lawrence, but then you get this guy who made her, feel great. Now, I wasn't going to get too much. Well, just a brief thing, because I watched like the after thing, and they were interviewing the actor who played Nathan. And one thing they said the thing about Nathan, he didn't have any baggage with her.
Oh, okay.
He didn't have any baggage with her, so it's just fresh. She had I mean, when she got with Daniel, he was a past guy.
Exactly.
And she definitely had past whatever with Lawrence. So this is a totally new guy, and then he was doing nothing wrong. All he was doing was like, yeah, baby. He's whispering in her ear, yeah, baby, you can do it. You got this.
Yeah, he said all the right things.
Yeah, he said all the right things, and honestly, you don't know if he's saying it because that's just his personality. Or he trying to play her, or it was something. But the fact of the matter, he said it, and he was convincing enough for her to believe it. Right. That's all that needed to happen. And it was like he kind of empowered her in a way.
Yeah, he did.
And I've actually said that previously. Maybe that's his only purpose, is to kind of wake her up a bit and then move on. Right. The issue might be her trying to hold on to that instead of taking it for what it is.
Yeah, but then he said, how do you know it's real and I'm falling for you?
Oh,
and
yeah, well, yeah.
See, you don't say stuff like that and then disappear.
Yeah, that's true, too.
That was wrong.
Okay, I was trying to slide. I was trying to make it good for him, but that ain't even working. No. Yes, but that was a powerful line, though. And actually, it shows some growth. That growth you look for.
I totally was feeling it. She was being honest.
Yeah, well, she didn't say the dick, but Molly knows her girl.
Well, yeah. So I was feeling that whole scene too.
Yeah, and then we see Lawrence out with the church girl Denise, and there's a different vibe for Lawrence. Lawrence probably feels like I need to get to know these women, but I don't think he's feeling church.
No, he's not.
He
thought it was corny.
Yeah, and and that's actually deep in itself that a show actually brings in religion. Yeah, that's deep. I mean, I know some people might be offended, but if you're going to talk about anything in the Black community, you can't really even talk about relationships fully without talking about religion. In fact, people longtime followers might know, I actually did on-demand video on my Vimeo channel. The link is in the description box for my Vimeo channel for the on-demand videos, where I talked about, I know, that's a shame. Miss Mocha Angels is like, damn, that was shameless. Anyway, no. Y'all need to check it out, because I did a video and I said, you got to take in, if a man trying to find somebody, he got to take in consideration her religion, her subculture, her social class, all of that. So it's kind of like, if they're going to be real true to the game, they got to bring that in at least superficially. Now it might be problematic to make it a major issue because, people argue over religion and politics. right?
Right.
But, just a superficial thing. And at least, what it shows with him, he's still growing. He's still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's cool, right?
Yeah, and I thought basically the STD slowed him down.
Yeah.
That made him rethink what he was doing
Yeah.
with himself. And as far as him not feeling that particular church, I've never found a church that I felt 100% ever. I know that feeling where you sitting there, you listening like, and everybody else is feeling the spirit. Folks getting the Holy Ghost, they falling out. Your boy comes to Jesus, and you like, what the... What am I missing? And that's what he was feeling. He's like, am I missing something?
Yeah.
Because Denise was like, no, give it a chance. And you could tell he was like, no, I'm not feeling that.
Nah, that's not him.
No.
Honestly, in real life, because y'all know I get into the metaphysics and stuff, right? That'd be the type of dude, just because his inherent intelligence, he'll get probably on that more metaphysical thing. He'll be listening to Rom's Deep Thought channel. And I mean, and that's just it. And that's cool. But it still shows some growth on his part. But then, later, a few scenes, Issa goes to the entrepreneur workshop. And, but, well, why don't we jump back into that later? Because that kind of leads into the final scenes.
Right.
But Torian, is mad at Molly.
Yeah, that's his ego. Everybody in that firm seems to have a big ego.
Yeah, well, you do. For reasons I don't discuss publicly, but some people nosy enough to figure it out. I know about that world. It's
yeah, that's your world. Yeah.
Yeah, they want to have a big ass ego in that way. It's like, especially a black attorney, because they going to. First of all, they had to kick everybody's ass.
Right.
Work twice as hard.
Right.
Trust me. To get half as much. So it's like anybody in that position, and that's especially with any professional type of brother with multiple degrees and stuff, is going to have a level of arrogance. And I ain't gonna say it's called arrogance, but just a level of like, I'm the shit. And level of ego. That's actually normal. I like how they kind of portraying that, because it's doggy dog in that world, especially with attorneys, because like they say, what do they call 500 attorneys at the bottom of the ocean, and a good start. Or how come the attorney didn't run over the snake? Professional courtesy. So we'll leave that. We'll leave that. So
okay. So what also happened? I think this was right before that scene. Was that Issa, even though she's still pressed, she deleted Nathan's phone number, and she deleted his social media from her phone. And then they went into Lawrence getting a text from Denise, asking like, is he gonna come to church, or are they going out again, something like that. And he was just like, yeah, we'll see. And then Molly got the cold shoulder from Torian. And then now we're leading up to the final scenes. Issa was at the entrepreneur workshop that Lawrence told her about. Yeah,
and we didn't realize that he had told her about it, but you see that she's taking that step forward. And then we see them later. She meets Lawrence at his job to thank him for telling her about the workshop.
Right.
And then she say, hey, you want to get some coffee? Now, this ain't the Luke Cage coffee. This ain't the Luke Cage coffee. Anybody who watched Luke Cage know if you hear a woman say the word coffee, Luke about to get some, or a woman wants to give him some.
Yeah, that's the code. That's the code.
Even some of the villains said coffee. Yeah, it was like, God.
Yeah, Luke Cage. Well, what's another story? I wasn't feeling Luke Cage.
I understand, but that's another review. But and it was kind of interesting because they just sat there, they kind of talked, and you kind of the feeling I got from it is they're getting to know each other, but on a different level. They're not the same two people.
Exactly, they're going to be friends again.
Yeah, at the very least.
At the very least, yes, they will.
But it's like it's not like the Lawrence working ordinary jobs and then trying to get a business going, getting depressed, or Issa carrying him. It's more like, shoot, Lawrence, he got the fat crib and everything, big old TV, got the money moving up on his job. Now Issa's on the hustle thing.
Right.
But, Lawrence ain't like, he's like showing some help and everything. He's showing some help and, he's showing some support just by telling her about a workshop for entrepreneurs, which is like, it's probably something he might have attended. Yeah,
back in the day, he would have gone himself.
Yeah, he might have attended it, definitely. And, I kind of like that because, what? I know some people are like, oh, no, she got to get with Nathan. Some people like get with Lawrence. Of course, some people probably still with Daniel. But that's a natural progression because when you get two folks who, they might have had a relationship in the past, but they go through some growth, right? you know, that's a normal thing. If they still cool, then it's like they, you know, they can sit down and talk, and then all of a sudden you see new things because they both had new experiences.
Right.
Because it's interesting. She mentioned sleeping on the couch, but of course, she didn't mention dangling.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Right.
You know, she was like,
why? She shouldn't have brought it up.
Well, she didn't need to.
She didn't need to.
And you know what? But that's part of the growth experience for both of them. Even, you know, her going through even Nathan. Right? And that's in relationships, period. Like any real life relationships. Part of the reason why, you know, even though I said I wasn't going to do any reviews of it, you still into it because you see all of this in real life. That's the important thing because it is the growth. And sometimes, you know, sometimes people might just encounter each other at the wrong time. You know, I think what you say, Natasha Rothwell, whatever her name is, said about that.
Oh, what Kelly said. Yes. What she had said, I said this last week. I think it was like, what if the person you were after your relationship ended was the person you had been in the relationship at the time? What would the outcome have been?
Yeah.
And it would have been a different outcome.
I don't think it would have been different because they're both more mature. But that's the main part. I wanted to touch on that tooth dream real quick. Well, the thing about tooth, if you have a tooth dream, the most common meaning is that you feel a sense of powerlessness. And for those on a more metaphysical tip who know about chakras, the throat chakra, that's key to your power. You know, being able to speak your truth, that's a power right there. Like, that's one of the things because it's even deeper. If you think of one thing with Issa, her journey through the 3 seasons was basically speaking up.
Oh, definitely.
And speaking her truth.
Oh, my God.
You know?
Yes.
And even then, she wasn't talking a lot about what was going on with her and Nathan, but she was thinking it.
Right.
And she needed to be more out of it. In fact, even Lawrence pointed that out, saying, yeah, you know, you were so in your head or something like that. You know? So, you know, that was about that. And one thing about her character kind of has a controlling personality, like more aggressive, right? It's probably a reflection of her in real life. And that, you know, it is what it is, right? But then Nathan ghosting, that's a failure to control.
Exactly.
You know, so that is messing with her. One thing I'll say about, I mean, I know Issa Rae might say some things in public that, you know, annoy some people, right? You know, like the whole thing with the black women and Asian men, right? Whether she's serious or not. But as a writer, she's very subtle. Because in the shower, wasn't that food in the shower?
I think it was. Thank you. I was like, is that food?
Yeah, if you notice, it's very subtle.
She's got food everywhere.
Yeah, it's very subtle. But see, that's actually good filmmaking right there. That's actually good filmmaking when you think about like those little details. Like they don't make a big deal out of it, but she's always got some food. Like when she woke up the first time, she reached over, it was right there.
Yes.
And I'm like,
I noticed that.
You know, it is interesting because it might suggest something else, or it just might be a little nuance. And I think it was more of just a little nuance, not a major thing. But I think she's detail orientated.
Yes.
And from a writer's perspective, that's great. That is some great stuff right there. I really like that. So, anyway, any final words, any predictions, anything for the last show?
I have no idea what's going to happen on the last show. I like what you said about the food everywhere because I did notice that too. And even that crack about the Safeway sushi being the beginner sushi, that was funny.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It was hilarious because sushi is like one of my favorite foods in life. And I had a boyfriend at the time, introduced me to sushi. This was like 20 plus years ago. And I had no idea what to do with it. And I did fall in love with sushi. But then when you would go to the grocery store to go to Safeway to get the sushi, you're like, what is this beginner sushi shit? Like, this is for people who don't know what it is. And they said that. I thought that was hilarious. I really did. And I would just say, just overall, I have no idea what's going to happen in the next episode. It's going to be a trip. It's going to be some surprises. But I did like the episode. Yeah. And I'm an Andrew fan.
I'm a big Andrew fan.
I'm an Andrew fan for sure.
That's trifling that all the characters on there, the only one I identify with is the Asian one. That says a lot.
No, he's Thug Asian.
Oh, Thug Asian. I ain't a thug, yo. But
he's Thug Asian. Yeah. And he keep it real.
Yeah. And I actually like that, but I think that's a bigger thing too. And that's like a whole other conversation. It was like just a presentation of black males. in media. But that's a whole other conversation that, you watch something, and other than watching like Power or The Equalizer, I don't see myself like in these shows.
Okay. Well, I was going to say one more thing.
Go ahead.
About Lawrence and Issa. I think honestly, I don't know if they're going to get back together. I'm not sure they really need to. But it just shows you that exes can become friends. It's a real thing. Some exes, I got one, listen, I have blocked on social media, and that brother might not ever say another word to me in life. Okay. Then you got other exes where, you can kind of kick it here and there. And then you got other exes that you can't get close to. It just depends on the dynamic between the two people from when they were together and how they really feel about each other. So I was a fan of them becoming friends. I'm fine with that. So.
Okay. All right. So I know this is a little long, but we had to get some stuff out there. And, stay tuned. Next week we're going to have, we'll have the finale. We'll see what's up. Like, who sent her those flowers? It might be something surprising. Maybe Daniel. I don't know.
Nah, boo.
I don't think Nathan has a job too. And if it's Lawrence, that would be like,
oh no,
man. Yeah, man. I mean, come on now. All Nathan could buy was some tacos. Some cold tacos at that.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Shit.
Yeah, he can stay ghosted.
He can stay ghosted. We'll see. So anyway, that's it for now, y'all. Peace and many blessings.
Bye.